Welcome to the channel. In this video, we'll show you how to create this MrBeast thumbnail in 4 steps. You can download the final PSD file, images, and brushes. So let's quickly jump in. First, we need to enter the standard dimensions for a YouTube thumbnail in the width and height fields. Step 1. Placing the images and blending them together. We place the grass foreground image for the cemetery ground onto the canvas and erase the excess parts. We can organize layers by grouping them using Ctrl+G. This is very important and will help you work much more efficiently and smoothly. Then, we place a cloudy sky image, similar to the one MrBeast chose. Now, we place the dirt ground image on top of the grass layer. By holding down the Alt or Option key and clicking on the mask icon, we fill it with black. Then, we select a dirt-specific brush and start bringing back the layer with white. For the character's body, I chose an image of a swimmer, which I think is a good base image. We select him using the Object Selection tool and bring him onto the canvas. Now we're going to connect the right arm to our character. The Quick Mask tool is a great choice. You just need to activate it with Q and paint your selection. Bring it onto the canvas. Place it in the right position. We continue to keep the layers organized by grouping them. We follow the same steps for the character's left arm. For the character's head, I used a picture of MrBeast. Of course, you can use a picture of any character you prefer. Place it in the right position and move its layer below the right hand. Now, we create a new group to create the torn clothing for the character. Scale it, and place the layer on top so it's fully visible. Then, using the warp tool and adding vertical and horizontal lines for better control, we position the clothing correctly. We can use the liquefy tool to perfectly adjust and match the clothing to the character's body. Once we are satisfied with the position of the clothing, we mask the layer. Then, we paint back the parts that we need. Now, we remove the excess parts of the base character's arms by masking the group layer. Now it's time to blend the body parts together for a more natural look. Create an empty layer above the arm layer. Grab the clone stamp tool, and by sampling from the character's arm, connect the separated parts together. Create a mask for the layer and erase the excess parts. We want to mask the character's body and clothing so that it looks like they've been buried under the ground. I select the clothing group layer mask and paint over it with the dirt brush. We do this for the other hand. Step 2. Color correction. Now, we need to match the color tone of all the body parts. We can use a hue saturation adjustment for this. Same for other parts. We can also use the curves adjustment to match the lighting. So let's apply this to all the layers and then move on to the next step. We select this image of trees using the Object Selection tool and scale it. Then, we duplicate it and merge the two. We'll match the color using hue saturation, and then, mask it with a gradient. We create a new layer and use the eyedropper tool to sample colors from the background, then start adding fog and atmosphere behind our character. Step 3. Creating the gravestone. We'll use a stone texture image and adjust its lighting using a curves adjustment to match the scene. Now, using the shape tool, we'll draw a rectangle and a circle. Select both shapes and align them in the center. Then, hold Ctrl and click on the icon of one shape to activate its selection, and by holding Ctrl and Shift, add the selection of the second shape to the first. Disable the shapes, and with the selection active, create a mask for the stone texture. Go to the blending options. Activate Bevel and Emboss. Select Chisel Hard. Adjust the depth, size, and soften settings. Tweak the light angle and the opacity of both the shadow and highlight to achieve a better result. We rotate the tombstone slightly. At this stage, we add images of other tombstones in the background of our scene. We adjust their positions and tweak their lighting and colors to blend seamlessly with the scene. We mask them using a grass brush to make them look more natural. Now it's time to take the final step, which is adding shadows and highlights to our character. We create a new layer and sample the existing shadows to paint new ones. For the best result, use a soft round brush and set the brush flow to around 7 to 10. We create a curves adjustment layer to darken our character. Then, we create another one to brighten it. We mask the layer and use a soft round brush with white to paint a rim light effect on the character. let's do it. If you want, you can create a color balance and curves adjustment layer on top of all the layer to add a specific color tone to your thumbnail, making it stand out and look even more appealing. To create depth of field, turn off all foreground layers and take a snapshot of the entire scene. Apply the lens blur effect to the image. Then, mask the layer with a black gradient to achieve a realistic depth of field effect. If you found this video helpful, you can subscribe to the channel to stay updated on future videos.